Mercury retrograde late for Spirit Scoop.
Oh, yes. So it was funny because I thought, and I think I talked to Ursula about this. I feel like I've talked to you about it too. Mercury retrograde always gives me specific feelings and vibes. So as like before, when I didn't know anything about any of this stuff, I just whatever. But I always feel like I'm wearing a tin cup over my head. That's the feeling that I get. And then my ears kind of get like muffled almost for the 6 days. So there's like, you know, the 3 days before, and then you have the 3 days after. So I think it's about a week that I feel it in myself.
For what, Mercury retrograde?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, girl, that's full moon. 3 days before, then that day, 3 days after is full moon. Mercury retrograde is 2 weeks pre-shadow. We got about a 4-week Mercury retrograde and then a 2-week post-shadow.
So Mercury retrograde usually hits me on a 10-day cycle. So I don't know what part of it it's in with the Mercury
probably when
retrograde.
It's like major direct retrograde. Well, not direct, but actually retrograde.
It literally feels like I have a freaking tin hat on. Like I'm walking around, and I feel like sometimes every now and then somebody hits it from the outside, and it's like,
I can understand that.
Why are you doing that? And everything feels really muffled. So that's how I usually know that it's a Mercury retrograde. With full moons, it depends on me, my energy, where I'm at. And usually it's anxiety. It's like it'll be way up here, or I'll be really tired and like not want to do anything in life. So we have Jasmine. We don't do that here. It's weird and gross.
We're blocking you. I think I was on it when you were on it.
But like, I feel like we know we're doing something good if random people are hopping on our stuff and like, hey, poaching off from you guys. So whatever, it is what it is. Mercury retrograde is what we were talking about, by the way. But hello, Heather, Andrea, Sage the Mage, Alicia, Sophia, and is it Nelsito? Is it Nelsito? I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm so glad you're all here. Welcome. And yes, if anybody ever does, we always use the opportunity for blocking and poaching to let everyone know that if you want a reading, come to us. And that if someone's coming and preying upon you, probably not a good idea. And it's always an opportunity to learn and grow. And we're in this beautiful, amazing realm of free will where you truly get to decide and you have to give consent. And nobody can tell you what you need. And Crystal and I were just talking about that a little bit backstage in different ways. And like, there's just such an opportunity to truly follow our intuition, follow the whispers of our soul, and where that's lining us up, and trusting it. And if you want to hold soul space with someone, go ahead, reach out, ask them to, but don't feel like you have to get preyed upon, or don't let anybody else tell you what you need.
Absolutely. See, that's been like my thing, but I can't really blame other people for that, because like everybody has input, and when you're around spiritually guided people, a lot of people are like, well, you know, you have to take some of that with a grain of salt and you have to receive it yourself. Like you have to take responsibility for what you allow to get you off kilter. And I think I myself got myself off kilter because I wanted this, and then I want this, and then I want this, and then I want this, you know, it's that spaghetti thing. My guides always are like, stop trying to stick spaghetti to the wall, Crystal. It's not ready yet. It's going to keep falling. So stop giving a shit that you don't want us to manifest. You have to practice the pause and get through this step to kind of move through to the next step. And I feel like it's just one of those things. It's like that ADHD brain. It's like, oh, this looks good. This feels good, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, all of those are going to work together at some point in time. So just stop. Take a breath, girl. Take a breath. So
Preach it, sister. That's just it. The more you walk this path, the more conscious you become, the more you heal, the more you send, the more you do your shit. The more you find you got to slow down, the more you got to find you got to integrate even more. And that's like a good, like, you know, reference to your tin hat and what's going on with Mercury retrograde, because that's the time to integrate, to slow down, to review, to not take on anymore, to see what we've got in us, to process it, to act upon it, maybe to integrate it, and then add on more. And it's like, I even listened to you probably will like this, Crystal. I was listening to a talk earlier that talked about how we're actually super addicted to our minds too. And even though we're doing like all kinds of, oh, I got a pop up. Oh, it said it disconnected from Sea Goddess Facebook, but we're probably still live somewhere else. Let's see. Am I still here?
I feel like you're still in there. It's just, you have to reconnect your destination for the next time we stream, maybe.
I don't know. It popped up and I hit it and now it's doing something. So I think we're good, but here I am anyway. Oh yeah. And I'm back. Perfect. And it's reconnected. Good to go. Thanks, Mercury. So anyway, I listened to this thing earlier and it was talking about how we're addicted to our minds too. And I love that. I was like, oof, called out. Because all day, every day, I'm trying to be really conscious of, your mindfulness and your intention and your self-talk and all of those amazing things. And so, it's important to be mindful of that, but then it's also important to use that as a tool to allow yourself to get present. And when you're fully present, you're not really thinking about too much other than what's actually going on right there in front of you in your actual experience at that time. You're not thinking about the past, the future, what happened, what's for dinner, what, happened 8 years ago, all that stuff. You're just present. You're looking at the butterflies, and then you can get inspired. Sometimes you do future dream a little bit, or you start to daydream about some cool things that might come in. And you can say, oh, that's really nice. And then you can still pull yourself back to the present. So I love it. And I love that we're discussing this, because that's really what happens. The more you walk this path, the slower it becomes, and time just disappears in such an interesting way.
See, I think that's like beautiful. It goes hand in hand with spiritual gifts, or just being human, is understanding that we're both equal parts of each other. And I feel like, I don't know, you can I feel personally like we're more spirit than we are human, because we're only human for this period of time, and then we're spirit for eternity. But at the same time, we do feel doesn't it feel very organic sometimes in our human body and how our human body does things. And so to me, it's like you have to find balance in both of those things and understand that what's coming in and what you're receiving is based off of something. Is it reality or is it not reality? Is it self-made? Is it your own self-made prophecies? Is it your thought processes? Is how you feel about yourself? Is it how you see the world? Like, there's so much that goes into that, but we can also be a prisoner to those thought processes. And when we're a prisoner to those thought processes, it's almost like we don't know how to let that spirit back inside of ourselves. So then when we take the hike, we miss the butterflies, and we miss the flowers, and we miss the smells, and we miss the noises, and we miss the bird chirping off in the distance, because we're so focused on what's in front of our face, because we don't want to trip and fall, that we miss those signs and symbols as they come to us in all these beautiful, amazing ways. And it's kind of getting back to that reality of having those equal balances of watching your path and watching where you step so you don't fall on your face, but also allowing yourself to go, oh, look, there's a butterfly right next to a huge cliff that's about to fall, but I'm not going to walk too close to the edge because I'm present in the moment and know that's dangerous. So it's literally having both of those pieces and parts to yourselves, and just kind of allowing, something here to guide you forward and be that pulling instead of this or anything else, I guess. I don't know. It's just a weird dance that we have to learn how to do within ourselves. And I think that learning the steps is hard because each of us have a different dance. And so all we can do is take pieces of, I can listen to Mandee's dance. I can say, hey, show me your waltz, because those look like fun steps. And she can say, this is how I do it. And I'm going to be like, well, I'm going to trip. That's not cool for me because my feet don't do that. And so then I have to take bits and pieces of what she showed me and integrate it into my own space to create my own steps, while also looking at everything else and saying, oh, well, I'm about to dance up a hill, so now I got to freaking fix this one. It's just a lot of changing, growing, and experiencing. And when you look at it in a different way and switch the lens, it makes it a little easier, I think, as a whole. And I will say that you already have a request for somebody to have a card pulled. So I will say that I'm already writing names down, guys. I'm writing the names. So if you want Mandee to pull a card for you, then feel free to ask for those. So
we can definitely pull some cards, but we were enjoying this dreamy discussion and talking about creating peace and presence. And that's just it. It takes a lot of work most of the time for all of us to get to that. And our society right now is just training us to have what do you have? What do we have now with Instagram and TikTok and everything and all these shorts? We have like a 4-second retainer rate or something. We're like goldfish. It's like crazy. And then on to the next, and we can't even get through full sentences or reading a paragraph or any of that stuff. And so we have all this crazy instant gratification in front of us, and it's great and it's wonderful as a tool, but it's been getting a little out of control, and then it's making our mind go hyperactive. So now it's about slowing down, it's about coming back, and it's about integrating things. Yes, we were totally going to pull some cards and do some readings today. I see everybody hopping on in, and we're just encouraging everybody to step into your piece a little bit, just slow down a little and see what it is you can integrate. And there are, like we talk about and like we list in this show, there are so many tools, and there are so many things you got to do to kind of create that and get to that and learn how to do it. But trust us, there is definitely light and peace at the end of the tunnel, and it's worth all this shit. You're always still going to be working. You're always going to still find that balance. It's never just going to be like you're floating around not co-creating, because we're here and we're physical, we're humans. However, it will get a lot more peaceful. Oh, Sage, the maid adores our discussion. You're so sweet, Sage. We appreciate all of you.
See, I think I love that.
Before we like jam
on stuff? No, I feel like I'm just cool today. Like I said, I'm in this like space right now within myself, and I'm like, okay, I got it. I'm here. I'm right now. I got stuff going on. I'm dealing with it. I'm working through. I'm not trying to get too far ahead, because I know that the next 3 to 6 months of my journey is either going to be frustrating or is going to be growth. And I know what I experienced before in my last shoulder surgery. It was hell. It was absolute hell. But I think that had a lot to do with my situation and mindset, where I was at the time and what I was going through at the time. And so I'm just trying to be mindful to keep myself in a positive motion regarding this, instead of allowing myself to go back to where I was in that time frame and the chaos and the trauma that I experienced because of the first surgery. So right now I'm really just in a space of saying, hey, Crystal, let's balance out our energy. It's going to be what it's going to be. You asked for this. You have to remember that when you're sitting in pain and sleeping in a recliner for the next 6 months. But also I'm in a different space mentally, emotionally, and even with my physical body. Like there's so much different in my life today. And I'm actually really excited to see how this goes, because it's really going to show me how much I've changed. Right? And I welcome that in. Candy. I was like, I love that so much, because it's literally repeating something. It is repeating one of the most traumatic experiences of my life. You guys, I was in school. I was a medical assistant. I had a great job. Like I was in this space and I had everything that I wanted. And then all of a sudden I lost it all with one skiing accident. I lost my job. I couldn't go back to school. Money sucked. I was with a really crazy husband. There was a lot of stuff that happened in that moment in time. And I responded in such a shitty way. And to say that didn't have anything to do with how I healed would be an absolute lie. And it would be taking zero responsibility. So I have to acknowledge that my mindset in that time was a crap mindset. And so right now I'm really just sitting here going, okay, this is the next 2 weeks of my life. Crystal, let's meditate. Let's breathe. Let's try to refocus that anxiety that keeps coming to the surface, because my brain really likes to pull me back. And I know you guys do too, because I get talks about that all the time. All you listeners out there. Our brains like to do that. And so right now I'm just trying to stay in the mindset of today is today. Right now I'm with Mandee, I'm with you guys, and I'm here and I'm experiencing, and I'm getting growth from this experience. So I don't know. I'm kind of excited to see how this works, and I'm excited to see how it goes. And I'm excited to see how I process the journey this time, because I feel like that in itself is going to be proof positive that I've done my due diligence over the past 13 years of my life. So I'm really excited and scared. So, I mean, right? I'm good. I'm so good. And I'm here for you guys, and I'm here for your readings, and I'm here to give you messages for Mandee, and I got your names written down, and I'm just really excited to sit with you guys.
You're going to clear this shit. It's going to be great. You're going to be talking about 6 months in the recliner. I'm like, oh, it's going to be so much quicker. And like, so much has changed. Your mindfulness, your nutrition, your environment, how you treat your body, how you're showing up, like so much stuff. So I just think, you know what? I think it's a huge karma clearing and an opportunity to snatch back a whole lot of power and rewrite your stories and just feel good and heal and feel fucking better and use your shoulders and do normal yoga. It's going to be great.
If anything that anybody says is true about trauma, being trapped in our body, and it is, I'm not questioning that. I know it is. But if anything is true about this, I'm about ready to get a release of a lifetime, guys. Every bit of fucking trauma that I've been carrying on my shoulders my whole life is about to go, because I've worked on it. I've done it. I've done the work. And this is the last step in the process of my journey of work. And I can't tell you how fucking happy I am. I'm just like elated right now with the process of where I'm at. I'm terrified. And I'm like, once again, I'm trying not to go back, not to get my brain to be like, yeah, but remember the last time? I'm like, screw off. We're not listening to that narrative right now, brain, because we've got this shit handled. So yes, here we are. We've got the first person is Lauren, and it is for Andrea's daughter who is in college, and she is just wanting a little bit of direction apparently on where she's going in life.
Can we put the
yep,
comment
I will
up?
go back up. And Angie also. Hi, Mermaid. Mermaid in the Mountains, guys. That is Lexi.
Our Lexi Lou. And Nelsito, I hope we're saying it right. We welcome you. We're glad you're here. Each week, Crystal and I hold space. We've been doing this, oh my God, in many different versions for what, 7 years now in some way or another.
It's been a while.
Yeah, this show, well over a year now. But each week, Spirit Speaks is the name of Crystal's business, and we talk about how Spirit comes and speaks through you, through us, in different ways and passes messages.
Sometimes might be the name of my business, but Mandee Speaks Spirit. So it's Mandee Elam Spirit Speaks, because she's the one that speaks the spirit too. So we're all speakers of the spirit. Sorry, Mandee. I had to say that because you're equally spirit speaker.
We all are, exactly. And like, this is an opportunity for us to help teach what the ways that we've connected with spirit and how it comes through, and pass messages for you all, and help to teach you how to connect with spirit. And that's like what our businesses are about, and what we do, and what we hold space with in some way or another every day with people. So it's all about helping ourselves to remember this beautiful connection we have with spirit, and then to help all of you remember this beautiful connection you have with spirit. And of course we pull cards because it's lots of fun, and it's part of our businesses, and we enjoy that. So we're going to pass along some messages. You guys got me for a little over a half hour, and then I'm teaching a tarot class tonight for Sea Goddess Healing Earth. Yes, if you're just tuning in, if you've never been with us before, please give Spirit Speaks LLC and Sea Goddess Healing Arts lots of loves, likes, shares, follows. We're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, all the things. You'll find us all. You'll find us both. And in this episode description, we have a beautiful running list of things that have supported us along our way. So if you're looking for any tools or resources, check that out in our description. All right, Andrea, hi, so glad you're here. She says, my daughter Lauren, who is away at her college, requested I ask both of you for any guidance for her from her spirit team today. How sweet is that? That's so cool. I'm in such a like college kid days today. At my other job, I've been interviewing interns for summer, and I love it. And I've been reading all of their college stuff, and it's giving me all these memories, and it's fun. So for Lauren, what does she need to know most? All right. Pulled two for Lauren. This is from the Angel Prayers deck by Kyle Gray. And the first one is move your body. Thank you, angels, for motivating me to move my body and energy. They're showing several things. Of course, she's getting ready to shift and change and end this semester and move and do something a little different. But also, they're showing that there's kind of a confirmation she has been moving her body. And when she does, things go really well for her when she concentrates on that. And it's important to allow that to come in. And if she finds herself stressed or just feeling a little stuck or stagnant, this is the answer to that too. Because then she also gets transformation. Archangel Zadkiel. Thank you, Zadkiel, for supporting me to transform from my past challenges. So, end of the semester, big push, a lot of different energies coming up and opportunities. And they're showing that, she's really Lauren's proving to herself that she can do what she sets her mind to. She has to make herself sometimes, and that it really does work. So sending her a lot of love, and know that she really is transforming and has the pot of gold in her fingertips as long as she keeps moving towards that and working towards it. It will take some energy, but she's very on the right path. So I hope that helps and supports.
And I don't know if Lauren's an introvert, extrovert. They're making me feel like she's an introvert, extrovert, which means like around the right people, she's probably like, I can do my thing. But most of the time she's probably in herself a little bit. And the only reason they're saying that is when they said move. They're making me feel like there's a lot of things that get, like Mandee said, all of that fun stuff. And it's like it kind of sits on top of her, and she doesn't know how to like expel that anxiety because that extrovert in her isn't always like so rapidly outward. And so it's like the bottling up of energy. And so sometimes when there's a lot of things happening around us and we're empaths, natural people who just receive energy, it kind of feels very, I'm like, I tell people it feels like a beehive. If you've ever been around a beehive, you can actually feel it buzzing. And that's what it feels like inside of us sometimes. And we have to find a way to channel that. And so very funny, her guides in the top of my head were showing me flash dance. They were like, she's a maniac, maniac. And it's like she's just trying to find a way to get that energy out. So even if it's just like a quick burst of energy to release what it is that she's feeling, that will help her in the transition that Mandee is talking about. Because there's a lot of changes coming to her. And I feel like she's got to remember to allow that burst of energy to take place, because it'll get caught up inside, just like we talked about. Trauma stays in that body. Thank you so much, Heather. Yeah, I saw. I got it.
This is me scrolling 10 minutes later trying to fix it and hitting the wrong comments. So thank you all so much for being on it. I'm like,
so yeah, everything. Just tell her to get it out a little bit when it starts to get a little bit like buzzy for her. And that's all. She's fun. She's good. She's about to start her life. It's amazing. There's a lot of things happening. Positive, scary, fun. And then we have Sage the Mage.
Sage the Mage. I'll gladly take a reading if you share space for that today. I'm curious about any insights around what's unfolding with my direction change. I think pull some starseed cards for you.
And like as Mandee is like shifting and carding, Heather, I do want to say she offered to be a moderator for us at one point. And if we can figure that out, I would absolutely love that, so she can watch those comments so I can sit with the other comments. So I'm just telling you, Heather, I haven't forgotten about that. Thank you. I'll look into that. Thank you for
offering that, Heather. Yeah, we're working on building our Sea Goddess community. I created a long time ago and we haven't done much with it, but Jessie May is in there and Lexi's in there creating cool stuff, and we're stepping up in all those ways. So thank you, Heather. We're definitely gonna keep you on the list for all that cool stuff and keep working on growing. But we do need people hanging out and moderating and, making sure things are good on the ethers. Especially like I do my best, but I only have so much capacity. And like I'm holding space with clients all day and then I check it real quick at night and I'm like, shit, I can't keep up with all this. So it's really nice to have support with that. And I'm grateful. Thank you, Heather. Oh, that'd be so cool. And Sophia said, what a great idea. Heather would be a great moderator. She totally would. All right. For Sage the Mage, insight around change and direction for Sage the Mage. Got 1, 2, feeling 3. All right. The first one we got is wait. It's not time yet. Things are being woven. Right now is an opportunity to hold space for yourself. You're looking for insight with this change. You know it's coming. You know it's happening. However, certain things are being woven right now cosmically, and it's important that you trust in your higher self and the energies and all the things. You then get, I remember, the fated life versus the destiny life. This is an opportunity to truly tune in to where your soul is calling you to be. Of course, it's important to take action steps where you need to be, but to really trust that, you're co-creating from a place of heart and wholeness and not so much micromanaging or not trusting. Of course, it's all perfect and you're going to figure this out, but this is a time to really take it slow, be patient, and to trust in what your soul is revealing to you, because then you get lifting of the veil, questioning everything, and anything unaligned must go. This is happening right now for you for a reason, to allow yourself to truly follow your soul and what lights you up. And like, even the word apocalypse means like a thinning of the veil and seeing what you never saw before. It's just a shift in perspective. And so these things are happening for you in order for you to walk your soul path, in order for you to see things really clearly, and in order for you to do your work while you co-create and trust. So I hope that makes sense. And I'm sending you a whole lot of love, and I'm glad you're here tuning in. Oh, yes, we've got all kinds of awesome, healthy and medium. Kaylee, so glad you guys are here.
I'm like, I'm trying really hard to delete these comments as they're coming through. Okay, sorry. Thank you guys so very much. I'm trying, y'all. And I feel like that's like a good sign that we're on the right track, because it's obviously coming up in other people's space. So whatever, it is what it is.
Yeah.
For bad publicity, I mean, like, sometimes that's even good too. So you can come on, you can jam with us. I'm just gonna block you if you say stuff like that. It's cool. Heather is next on our list. She said that could she have a card today just for general?
Of course.
Absolutely.
For Heather. And Sage, I see, says that makes a lot of sense. Thank you so much. You're welcome, Sage. I know you know what I'm talking about. I know you know.
I had to highlight this. Sorry, I had to highlight this. Lexi, you cracked me up. Every person, I'm a cartoon character, apparently, for everybody, because I don't have the ability to watch my facial expressions. And everybody tells me all the time, my facial expressions, I'm sorry. Like, I get the face. I'm sorry. When I'm seeing the trolls, I'm like, oh, come on, God damn it. Mandee's doing her beautiful readings over here, and then I've got troll duty.
Oh.
So, back up to Heather. Sorry.
We need it all. We need it all. Okay. Oh, can you guys hear? I'm going to unplug my phone. It says my phone is warm, which is weird. Okay. Can you hear me okay? Am I coming in okay, Crystal?
Yep.
All right, perfect. Okay, Crystal's first card is, or not Crystal's, I'm sorry. Heather's first card is Messenger. Serious energy, bringing harmony and balance. This is a time for you to truly connect with your higher self and with the stars in particular, with the star system, with Sirius, and know that you are meant to be creating a lot of balance and a lot of peace, a lot of harmony in your life right now. A lot of that energy we were talking about before of slowing down, enjoying, just being, and seeing what comes in. Because then you get child of the cosmos, the intelligence of the universe lies within you. The reason that things are, of course there's chaos, there always will be. You've got a household and things to do and all that, but there's also more and more peace coming in. And this is happening for a lot of reasons, for you to trust your intuition even more, for you to trust in the chapters that are coming for you, and the beautiful intelligence that co-creates with each and every one of us. And your next card, which is a perfect segue, is Inner Earth. You'll survive this, new solutions and beginnings. The reason you're coming to such peace, the reason things are a little wishy-washy at the same time, peaceful and in the in-between, is so that you truly can create and walk upon these new foundations you've been creating and build upon it. So it's really wonderful. It's a time for you to keep creating this new inner earth, creating this peace with you, and trust your intuition is telling you what's right. And you're really putting so many things into play right now that are creating peace for you. So I hope that helps you, Heather. And I'm so glad you're here. And thank you so much for volunteering for troll duty, because that's got to be a thing now.
I love that. I love that for Heather. I love that for her. Andrea's next. First, we did Lauren, which she did say that makes sense for Lauren. So I just wanted to validate that for you, Miss Mandee. And then she said, I would love any guidance from my team. And right above that, it was Lizzie. And yes, we are obviously doing messages. So I do believe you're it's Jessica and then you. So right now we have Andrea.
Cool. Andrea. I'm actually going to pull you a couple angel cards too for Andrea. And I'm sorry if you hear my dogs playing in the background. They're very happy right now. I'm letting them go. Okay. Very interesting. Your first one is loved one in heaven. Thank you, loved ones in heaven, for drawing close to me at this time. They're showing you have been connecting with ancestors, maybe particularly like a mother or grandmother energy that's been coming in. I don't know if birthday passed recently or just some memories or thoughts, but know that they're with you. Know that you are loved, that you are held, you are connected, and they're actually bowing and giving you gratitude for connecting with ancestors, just as you've been connecting with your spirituality and you've been thinking about it and drawing in some strengths from them. That's something I like to remind people is that, there's a meme that goes around that says our ancestors didn't just give us traumas and dramas. They also gave us strength and courage and resources and knowledge and so many cool things. And they're showing you reflecting upon that a lot lately. You then get the miracle of nature. Thank you, angels, for helping me to reconnect through nature and fresh air. For you and so many of us, spring has sprung and there is sunlight coming in and it's warmer, opportunities to step in our gardens, to work more. They're showing you really just surrounding yourself with flowers and nature, and in particular, kind of like butterflies and little honeybees and and bugs and bees in particular. I don't know if you watch bees or even seen them recently, but they're there for you and they're there to support you and to remind you of all the sweetness and to be present. So get out there and connect with nature. And then last but not least, you get to take a step back. Thank you, angels, for helping me to step back from what is no longer serving me. You are pruning a little bit too with this new season, and you're kind of releasing the things that aren't serving you so you can create time to spend in nature and to spend doing the things that you truly love and what you're calling in right now, and give yourself permission to do that. So I hope that supports you. Know that you're loved. And Crystal, do you have anything to add to that?
No, not really, other than I can attest that there are bees all over California and I love them.
Oh.
I absolutely love them because like we have all these almond trees and they're like right by the road and we have these beautiful, amazing like beehives everywhere. And so I'm allergic to bees also. Probably not the smartest idea, but I put my window down and I hold my hand up and they will actually come and they will just sit on your hand and they'll like do their cute little thing. And then you talk to them. I talk to bees. I'm weird. I do. Ben is like,
anyone else having flashbacks from my girl right now? Is Crystal telling this story?
And like I'm sitting here and I'll talk to them and they actually will interact with me. Bees love me and I love them. And then they'll just fly away. I absolutely love bees and they're all over here, but you can actually get out and you can interact with bees. It's quite amazing. I love it so much. I'm a weirdo and I apologize for that.
I don't think that's weird. I think that's amazing and incredible. I just don't want you to, like I said, get all Macaulay Culkin on us. And
I have an EpiPen just in case. I have an EpiPen just in case, but it's really funny because it's something that I have a really fun bee story. When we were in Charlotte, the subway, we went in to get food one time and there was this bee in there and everybody's like freaking out. And I'm like, stop! Like instantaneously, I felt this poor bee, like he was just scared trying to find a way out. And I'm like, stop. And finally, like he landed and I walked over and I'm like talking to the bee and everybody's looking at me like I'm insane. I mean, this place is packed. And they're looking at, they're like, she's talking to a bee. Like, you should have heard the conversations happening around me. I was full nuts mode. I reached my little hand out and I was like, it's okay. You can climb onto my hand. I know you're thirsty. I know you're tired. I'm going to get you some water. And as soon as I said this, the bee crawled onto my hand, took like refuge right in the middle of my hand. I got him a little bit of water. He went up to the water, started drinking it. And people are crowding around me, looking at my hand like, are you fucking kidding me? Are we really witnessing this shit right now? And afterwards, I took him outside. I put him in a cool place, let him recoup. I came back in and people are like, what? What did we just see? So I understand that when I tell these stories, people are like crazy. This is my life. I know how people look at me.
Everybody who's watching this probably does it too. In some way, I just rescued a mosquito eater the other day. Just stuck on the window. I'm like, how can I get it out? I put it in a cup and then put like a coffee filter around it and was just like, all right, go be. It's part of becoming spiritual. You become so much more conscious of other plants and animals and beings and creatures. And some of us were very born with it and very sensitive to it. And some of us learn as we go and we open up. But man, did you plant some seeds that day?
Oh, I did. It was so funny.
Bees aren't the threat.
I had so many people that day tell me, they were like, you just taught me so much about bees in like 2 minutes of time. They were like, I'm never going to respond that way ever again. I was like, good, because they're just as scared as you. I mean, could you imagine some giant with their hands going like this? Like, come on. They're not gonna sting you unless something's wrong with them or they feel threatened or scared. So they'd want out too. Like just chill, just sit with them for a second. Trust me. So yeah.
Well, Troll, you want to work on troll duty?
I will. We have Jessica.
Well, I work on Jessica. Jessica, I'm going to pull you a card. I'm actually feeling called to pull you a card from the Angels and Ancestors deck by Kyle Gray. And yes, thanks for stopping by, Troll. Jessica, what does Jessica need to know most today? Message would you like to pass? I'm in a 3-card moon. Or 2, 3. All right, you have an opportunity right now to shift some perspectives. Your first card is Eagle, see from a higher perspective. I love this one. Comes in a lot for many of us. It's the time to zoom out, especially when there's things going on around you can't really control right now. Only thing you can control is how you feel, your circumstances to it, how you react to it. And it's important to grow. There's a lot of things happening for you right now where you're growing in life and you're looking at things really differently and more maturely. And it's an opportunity to let yourself just hold the peace and speak your truth, but at the same time, let yourself learn. Then you get spring, see your seeds grow. It's got, the hair on it, which represents fertility and growth and wonderful things coming your way. Great time for giving birth to things, new projects. If a baby's in the works for you, perhaps, but it's just an opportunity to really focus in on what you're trying to create right now and give energy to that. You have a lot of creative energy. The womb is a place where we create and where we give birth to life, and you have a lot of energy around that with this spring energy. So let yourself be inspired. Then you get the wise one, grow within your current situation. More of that maternal opportunity coming in, more opportunity to be mature with certain things and to hold space for others. So let others grow and learn with, even though you know the answers to some things, letting them figure it out, if that makes sense. That's where your wise one comes in. You're really letting yourself, instead of jumping in and fixing things or saying the answer to something, you're letting people who you once fixed things for figure things out for themselves. And it's a really great thing at this time. So I hope that supports you, Jessica, and I'm sending you big love and thank you for wanting a card.
Yeah, I call it letting them get there themselves. Crystal used to be really bad at that. Another one of those things. Crystal did not used to be good at that. So you got to let people get there themselves. Just because you know the path doesn't mean that you can give the answers to the path, because we're all taking our own little test. And every single day we are studying for that test with all the traumas and the dramas that we have going on. So we have to be mindful that it is not fully on us to give all those answers out every single time we feel guided to. Sometimes we got to bite our lip and be like, no.
Mm-hmm. All right. Nacito, pull a card. Card pulled for me. Okay. Got you. Pulling you a card or two. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for holding space. All right. You've got two. First is the Shalom Master. Be graceful in movement and action. They're showing that there's been times where you can get a little fired up or push yourself a little hard, and you can be really hard on yourself, really critical on yourself. Sometimes that comes out with others, but it's a time to be a little bit more graceful, a little more gentle, and see what you can do to slow it down. They're showing you actually physically moving your energy. I don't know if you've tried any yoga or qigong or martial arts or anything like that, but they're showing that you really have potential to, if you haven't done that yet, and that actually moving your energy right now is going to serve you and help you become a little more graceful and a little more gentler with yourself in particular. And then what happens is all the things that you're wanting come in. Then you get the moon. Take note of intuitive messages. You really are. It's a time to trust your intuition, but in order to do that, you got to slow down a tiny bit and be really graceful and be really intentional so that you can receive these messages. It is hard. It's like walking a little bit of a tightrope and figuring things out. However, stuff is coming in for you and it's supposed to be. And if your dreams are really active at this time, take some notes there, see what's coming in, and let yourself really manifest. I'm glad you're here, and I hope that supports you, and know you're on the right path, but give yourself permission to be just a little more gentle, a little more graceful with yourself and other things.
Lizzie says, can you see if my brother in spirit is around, please, if drawn to me? Well, I feel like Mandee gets drawn to everybody because she pulls cards for everybody. So I'm going to let Mandee pull some cards. And I'm also going to say that, yes, you always have your people around you. And it's very funny that you don't see it all the time. But I'm going to say, I feel this is Crystal's heart to your heart. Okay, please just hear. I'm not picking on you, Lizzie, because what they're doing is they're making me feel like, boy almighty, this is a pot calling the kettle black situation. I have a cousin on the other side that was a lot like a brother to me. And I really struggle hearing him a lot of the times. And it's because of situations surrounding his passing. And what they're doing is they're snapping their fingers for me, which usually means to me that this was kind of quick, unexpected in some form or fashion. It doesn't mean that it was an instant passing at all. However, it does mean it was traumatic and it shook the people around you guys. And I don't think you were fully in a space to receive this at this time. It was traumatic, okay? And I feel like it was more traumatic for you specifically than, and I don't want to, like I said, please hear what I'm saying. Don't hear what I'm saying, hear what I'm saying, okay? It's not that everybody else wasn't affected by the situation. What they're doing is they're making me feel like it affected you a lot more because your reciprocation of the situation wasn't necessarily in a space where you could take it on at that moment. And so the trauma might have impacted you a little bit harder on the inside than what you thought it was going to impact you. And that in itself is what's created that disconnect in some form or fashion, because it's just harder to receive those things when it hurts us in it. It's like a sonic boom that takes place to our soul. And then we don't know how to recover ourselves from that, because there's also like a lack of talking and a lack of communication, a lack of understanding. It's just like one day they're there, the next day they're not. And then there's all these other things that we have to move through. And then we get back on the horse because we can't stop. Life doesn't stop for us when somebody else passes. And they're making me feel like energetically wise, you really struggled with that loss. And so please just know what they're doing is this, which means to me that you're still holding his hand. And I think the two of you have worked through a lot of trauma together. So as you're working through trauma here on this plane, they're making me feel like they're working through trauma on the other plane. Okay. And so you two are still very connected in a lot of different ways. It's just, I don't think rambunctiously he's not able to speak his words, or they're not able to come through the way that they used to when they were here on the earth plane, because in spirit form, they change so much. And they aren't able to, because they teach us how to communicate differently. And because you yourself have so much to learn. You're a mom. God, you're a mom. I believe fully that you're a mom in a lot of ways to a lot of people that you're not a mom to. And they're making me feel like your learning is understanding that your job is not to take care of everybody, but you also struggle with that. And so you're still essentially trying to emotionally and mentally take care of him on the other side, while also trying to take care of yourself and your own needs. And that's causing a little bit of a disconnect with you, because you're so focused on what, where, how, why of them on the other side, on top of all the things happening in and around you. And so they're just wanting you to know that, like, let go right now. Have you ever seen the footprints picture, like where there's only one set of footprints in the sand, and that's when they're holding you and carrying you through the sand because like you're exhausted? That's him right now. He's trying to hold you up. He's trying to carry you through the sand, but you won't let him. You keep kicking and fighting and say, let me down, I got this. And he's like, F you do. And so he's asking you to let him hold you, instead of you trying to find and focus on ways to hold him. He's asking you to let him take on all of the things, because you have a lot riding on you right now. And he's really making me feel like, empathically speaking, you've had enough. And he sees that and he recognizes that. And he does feel like his passing and the trauma of his passing kind of caused a lot of what that is. And so he's just begging you to let him pick up the pieces for once and let him carry you. And I really hope that helps you, because if you can allow that, if you can take away that control, because that's something we all struggle with, that control, man, giving up our control to other things and other situations. And he's making me feel like if you're not in control, it's very difficult for you, because you just know how to do things. You know how to get things done. And if you give it to somebody else, it's not going to be done. And so you've kind of been put into a lot of situations where it is on your shoulders. And he's making me feel like he wants to take that away. Okay. So please just know that he loves you, he supports you, and he's surrounding you. But he also wants you to open up to the different ways that he has to communicate. And he is not a rule person. He does not like rules. Boy almighty, once they get over to the other side, they got rules to follow, and it's not easy. And I'm sure at one point you probably thought he hadn't crossed over. And at one point you probably were like in a trauma state because you were like, oh my God, he's stuck. No, he was just stubborn and spicy and didn't want to listen to their rules. And now he's in a space where he's like, okay, I got to listen to rules. Like, if I want to help, I really got to listen to rules, and I got to do it this way because that's how it has to be received. And so that's what he wants you to know right now. He's got you. He's got you. Thank you for having him when he was here, even though you're struggling with that because you feel like in some form you let him down. You never let him down. Okay? You need to hear that. You never let him down. And he wants you to understand that. He's making me feel like, in a sense, he let himself down in some way. And that's what you need to hear. It never was you. It was me not believing in me that kind of got me in this process. So please just disconnect your own feelings from the situation of him, because he's not making me feel like you have a lick to do with any of this stuff. And so let him do you now. Let him take this for you. And if Mandee is feeling pulled to do some cards, I'll let her do that too. But open up to what he is presenting, because I feel like he's presenting a lot.
Aw, that made my heart warm. That was beautiful. And I did see that Lizzie commented and said you're spot on. So I know she's feeling very held right now by this. And yes, a couple cards just for you too outside of this whole thing, Lizzie. Masculine energy. So more, brother spirit there. But you get inner power, the divine father, and change and transition, Archangel Azrael. Divine Father, thank you for co-creating my world with me, and thank you, Azrael, for leading me safely through this change. Know that you're supported. This is a time to really manifest what you want and allow yourself to walk through it, to use that masculine energy we all have within us, which is that go, that gumption, that drive, that energy that makes us kind of go along into our change and transition, and know what's happening for you. And you are held and you are loved, not only by your brother, but by the brotherhood of spirit. And there's so much there for you right now, guiding you, leading you, and walking with you. So I'm glad you're here, Lizzie, and I hope that supports you.
We got two more. Mandee's got to go after this, guys, because she's got a tarot class tonight. So we have Angie. I'd love to have a card pulled, please. Haven't gotten good news on health. I've been really enjoying the new life of spring and finding peace and being outside with the earth coming back. Also, what would be the best reading to get with Mandee? I'm not sure which one would be the best. Mandee, that's all you, my dear. Mandee's good at everything. I think I'm going to tell you right now, honey, she's going to be good for you. I know Angie. She's going to be great for you because she's probably good in a lot of different ways. And I'm not going to lay your stuff out here for everybody to see, but I'm going to tell you, my God, it's her.
Definitely, apparently. Soul space is cool, and that's just it. So I have, my options are mostly all like reading based, and you can do packages with me. You can just do a single session. You can go, longer if you want. I meet people as much or as little as they want to. So I have clients that meet with me every week, sometimes twice a week, every other week, once a month, every few months, whatever works for you. But holding soul space is when we connect with your higher self and your angel team. We make sense of what's going on now and why. And what happens is we'll take a look at stuff, and we'll pray in. I'll ask you to what's called lay it on the altar. And I'll say, is there anything on your heart or mind in particular you've really been wanting to focus on or talk about? And then what'll happen is a lot of times I'll be able to see past lives or certain karmas or different belief systems that are kind of keeping us in the same loop, or opportunities to release some trauma or some stress or some drama that's holding us back, and to connect with our light and the things that light us up. So I would just start with an angel reading, intuitive angel reading, and we can go from there. But what it all is, it's just soul space. And I do offer, for anybody who's paying attention, thank you, Sophia, for giving it a shout out. I offer a 50% off coupon at the end of every live. So if you type in Mandee Live, it'll give you 50% off any of my services. So if you need that, I hope that supports you. And I'd love to hold some single soul space with you sometime, and anybody else who's feeling called. We have online soul circle coming up, group classes, cool things. After I do this reading for Angie, I'll definitely give everyone the scoop of what's coming up for upcoming events. So for Angie, let's start with some angel cards. We'll go from there. All right. Beautiful. Okay. So first you got focus your mind. Thank you, angels, for helping me to focus on my priorities. I don't know if are you okay over there?
I'm moving. I'm sorry. I'm getting my book.
Oh, I heard ow. I was like, oh no. Focus your mind. Let this be a time they're showing for you in particular just things in the world, other people, other situations, stuff from the past. It just really kind of can get you down, or it can take your energy and there's nothing you can do about it. And it's a time where you can take a few moments to focus, maybe go over some things you're grateful for, maybe start a little project or something you've been working on where you can get really focused, because it's going to help you to create a little more peace and to just release energy over things you can't control anyway. And on that note, you get don't hate, meditate. Thank you, angels, for guiding me through love and meditation. I love this one for everyone and everything, because what happens is we do get irritable. Our irritability, our anger, it's just saying our boundaries are getting crossed. Something's not quite right. Something's not feeling super in tune. And when we're getting frustrated with things, we can go with it. We can go over gratitudes. We can take some breaths and put on some yoga music and chill out, or go for a walk in nature, or do something to bring us a little bit more peace. You then get unconditional love, the Divine Mother. Thank you, Divine Mother, for helping me to give and receive the love that I deserve. Part of what's going on is you're still giving without allowing yourself to be able to receive at this time. And it's so important for anything that you're trying to give anybody else to give it back to yourself right now. And then at the same time, allow Spirit and the Divine Mother to come in to rock you, to hold you, to give you some answers, some guidance, some feelings sometimes, because she is there for all the other extra stuff that other people can't handle or be there for. So just know, if you're feeling ever alone or a little sad, or you're needing a hug and nobody's around to do that, let yourself breathe for a few and meditate, and let the Divine Mother come in and rock you. And you do it like they're showing you rocking kind of naturally anyway. Many of us do that. But you really are connecting with her and your angels, and it's important to let them in a little bit more right now. So you can do your best to focus on things you're grateful for. Take a time out when things are upsetting you or you're not able to control them, and see what you can do to go control that. And then also do your best to tune in to whatever unconditional love the Divine Mother is showing up and trying to give you. So I hope this helps, and I can't wait to hold some soul space with you one-on-one. Sending big love.
I love that. So what I was doing is getting my Louise Hay, and I'm not going to go over that here. I'm just going to say that I know that Mandee's going to pull that out with you. I know she is. She's going to pull out her Louise Hay, which she gets with you. And the reason she's going to do that is I feel like once I started hearing the cards, I was like, okay, yeah, obviously freaking on point. I believe personally, from what I know about Angie, I've known her almost my whole life.
Oh, wow.
Forever.
Oh, cool.
She is spliced Mother Earth. She is such a mother. She holds everybody in her womb. and I feel like some of the things that contribute to the heart center are because her heart essentially is somewhat broken, because she can't fix the problems of the surrounding world. And I think she wears that on her sleeve and on her chest a little bit. And that's some of the things coming to the surface that she's dealt with for a very long period of time. And it was like triggered by some stuff, which you guys will dive into. But such a deserving human being, Angie. You know how I feel about you. Absolutely. So I just want you to know I love you, and I'm grateful that she did that. And Sophia was the last one on our list to get a card. And Mandee, you can either pull the card and do your plug, or you can do the plug, then do the card for Sophia, but she was the last one on the list. So yeah.
Beautiful. Okay. Who was the last one?
Sophia.
Awesome. Yep.
Sophia. She's amazing.
For Sophia.
Just trying to go back up to her comment. I'm sorry. Oh, there we go. Can I get a confirmation card? My husband just took a new job and said no to a career as a firefighter because it felt out of alignment. I can see him struggle with his decision.
That was Sophia's? Oh, cool. I see it now. It had a little delay. Beautiful. Okay. Well, I already pulled cards for you before I read that comment. So I'm going to start with this one for Sophia. And then what's going to happen is, okay, my husband just took a new job and said no to a career as a firefighter because it fell out of alignment. I can see him struggle. Okay. So here's the thing. And this, I think, is for both of you. The first one is forge, don't follow. Pave a new path. Be the leader that you wish you had. So this is a big confirmation that he really is meant to forward and not follow, that he is meant to trust his intuition, that he is meant to go with this, and you're meant to support that. And you guys are meant to figure this out, and it's okay. It's normal to struggle with a decision. A lot of times when we're doing things that are not in alignment, it's because we care or we think we need to or we have to or something else is coming up with around that. So know that it's okay. It's safe to be the leader you wish you had, and it's safe to pave a new path. You then get whale and orca elders. Share your song, frequency of sound, deep diving. Time to tune in deep to both of you for what it is you want to do, what you want to be here to share, the songs you came here to sing individually and collective and together, and what that actually looks like. If music is an opportunity for your husband to dive into right now, I encourage that. I'm seeing that actually being something that really, really does serve you and him. And I hope that that supports you both. And let yourself really tune into that, because sound healing is so important for so many things. And it's something that you're really tuning into, the sound of your soul at this time. Then we get Earth, learning how to be a human in the world, but not of it. Talk about making choices to be a part of the world, but not of it. Like, this is a time that you guys can both truly earth in. You guys are already connecting. Sophia shares all of, not all, but many of her amazing photos of what's going on in her little magical, funny farm. And, you know, I know you're connecting with the earth, and I know so much of that is calling both of you in at this time. So let that, know that that's happening. Know you're in this incubation period at this time, and you're both going to figure it out, and all is well. Let yourself be earth. Let yourself listen to the songs, and forge, not follow. Let the path, especially for your husband right now, Sophia, let the path reveal itself, and wonderful things are going to keep coming of it, and it is a time to trust. So just know, I love this. You are in the world, but not of it. And this is a big confirmation for that.
So you're reading both, but I did highlight, Angie said spot on, Mandee, and Sophia was like, yes. And I love that this was a joint reading for us. So yes, Mandee, how can people get a hold of you? She's got a tarot class, y'all, so we gotta let her go. We can't keep her here all night.
Lose track of time. Yes, I'm teaching tarot class at 7:30. Sending big love to each and every one of you. Thank you for coming on and holding soul space. We love to gift this soul space several times a week on Sea Goddess Healing Arts. We offer all kinds of sessions, classes, online groups, day retreats. We have free options. We have, we do have options where you can hold one-on-one space with us and go deeper and learn. And farmers markets coming up, and Ursula released a new natural deodorant, and we just have all kinds of cool things. So give us a like, a share, a follow. We're on SeaGoddessHealingArts.com. And again, if you made it to the end of this, I offer a 50% off coupon, and I'd be happy to hold soul space with you. And yes, Crystal, how can people get a hold of you?
So, like, I'm not doing that right now because I don't know how long I'm going to be out. I'm not doing readings. I'm going to heal first and then worry about readings, but you guys can still catch me on YouTube for some of the stuff that I've already done. And hopefully it's only a couple weeks, maybe 3 weeks before I can pop back on here. But thank you guys so very much for giving me well wishes and time. And thank you, Mandee, so much for an awesome, amazing day. And I'm super grateful. I'm super happy of everything. Thank you guys so much. And I hope you have a great tarot class. I was going to say something else about you guys. And Ursula, if you were listening, create a deodorant without baking soda.
It's aluminum-free baking soda.
Thank you.
And the one right now, but she's working on something else maybe.
Because I can't use baking soda. When I've been trying to go natural for a natural deodorant, but trying to find one without baking soda is so hard, and I'm allergic to it. It like breaks me out really bad. So I was like, hey, Ursula, please, as long as you ship here, I'm cool. Because Lexi has nothing but great things to say about your deodorant. So hell yes. So excited.
Check out Holly Joy McCabe's too. Our girlfriend Holly Joy McCabe has one called Zen Pits, and it's like a spray. And I don't know, I don't think it has I don't think it has baking soda in it, but check it out. It's different. It's an alternative. It's worked for her. She's sensitive to a lot of things. But yeah, we're trying to find all the recipes for all the deodorants to help the women heal and for us to be happy and healthier. And yes, so I'm so glad you're interested in that. And I'm so glad so many other people are. Check out
Jennifer.
I haven't checked that out yet for deodorant, said Jennifer. So awesome. Thank you all so much for being here. We love you all. We're grateful for you. And we're sending you big loves for the rest of the week. And we'll be around. We've got Unschooled going on tomorrow, most likely. And then Thursday Night Lives, I think, on Thursday. And yeah, it's just going to be a good week. So we love you all. We're grateful. And we'll be in touch with Crystal. Are we going on for next week before your surgery?
No, I have appointments next week. I don't know why things are set up the way that they are here. It's weird. Okay. The appointments, it's craziness. I don't know why I need 6 appointments for one surgery, but whatever. It's fine. I'm not going to argue.
We'll be around. You all know how to find us.
So I have an appointment before the appointment. So I don't know. It is what it is, but I'm super grateful. And so next week I'm off, and then hopefully it only takes me a couple weeks, guys, because I'm super grateful to have this space with you too. But you can catch Mandee on Sea Goddess. So if you aren't a part of Mandee and Sea Goddess yet, go follow her so you guys can still get your weekly cup filled. Okay. Yes. Okay. Because they're all about filling the fucking cups. Excuse my French. Not sorry. I love you guys. Have a great week. Bye.
Bye-bye.